everyone. This is Katana Abbott, and I want to welcome you to Smart Women Talk, where I search the world for smart women and a few good men. And this includes best-selling authors, thought leaders, and change agents who are on that leading edge. So our topics include things like money, business, health, and inspiration. This is our last show of 2020. We have been through one heck of a year, and we are experiencing, for those that may be listening to this in the future, right now we are finishing 2020 with a worldwide pandemic. So we need support and inspiration now more than ever. And that's why I am just so thrilled to have Marci Shimoff here today and to be interviewing her. Marci is a #1 New York Times best-selling author and a world-renowned transformational teacher and an expert on happiness, success, and unconditional love. Her New York Times best-selling books include Happy for No Reason, Love for No Reason, and 6 titles in the Chicken Soup for the Women's Soul series that have sold more than 16 million copies and are translated into 33 languages. And she's also a featured teacher in The Secret and a narrator of the award-winning movie Happy, which I watched. She currently is leading a global online program called Your Year of Miracles to help people live a more miraculous life. And I and a bunch of smart women in our community participated this year in this fabulous program. We'll share with you more about it later. But we're going to talk about the #1 block that prevents miracles from showing up in your life, how you can be open to the happiness, the love, and the miracles that you want, and the key to raising your desirability set point in order to live in the miracle zone. So I've heard about the happiness set point, so I can't wait to hear about desirability. So anyway, with that, I get to chat with you. Welcome back. I mean, this is your 3rd time back to Smart Women Talk, because you were here for Happy for No Reason and Love for No Reason. And we're so thrilled to be here because we need this, Marci, so bad.
Well, I'm so happy to get to be with you today, Katana. I just love always getting to have a conversation with you, and absolutely, you are spot on. We need this now more than we ever have. And you know, I think that one of the great things, if we could say great, one of the blessings, gifts out of the time that we've been in is that it has been such a major reset for people, and we're kind of going deeper. I think we were living kind of on automatic for quite a while, and now here it's been a wake-up call to us. And you think it's an almost impossible time to live a more miraculous life, but it's actually not. It's actually the best time to dig deep into how to live truly the way that you want to live.
Right, right. You know, a lot of people are saying that blessings, just like you said, and gifts. And in our newsletter, where we announced this to our members, I talked about gratitude is one of the keys to happiness and actually finding the gift from this year. And so a lot of people are saying, you know, they were able to slow down and spend more time with their family and find out what's important. Have you been hearing the same types of things?
Absolutely. And, you know, from all of my research that I've done on happiness, one of the greatest fast tracks to raising your happiness level is gratitude. In fact, there have been studies done that have shown that people just for 30 days, if you focus on 5 things a day for 30 days that you're grateful for, that within a month, you'll raise what's called your happiness set point. I mean, such a simple and easy thing to do. But the other thing that I've found is when I interviewed happy people, I found that they all have a similar perspective on life. And that is that this is a benevolent universe. Einstein said that the most important question we can ask ourselves is this a friendly universe? Is it a benevolent universe? And happy people will always say yes. That doesn't mean that life goes their way. That doesn't mean that they don't, they're not in the midst of a pandemic and they don't have to deal with all the things that come with life. But what it means is that they believe that life is for them. Life is always for progress, and life is always supporting them. And if that's the case, then rather than saying, oh, why is this happening to me? This is so awful. The better question to ask is, if this is happening for a higher purpose, or if this is happening for my benefit, what could that be? So if you find yourself these days feeling like, oh, this is awful, I can't believe this has happened, perhaps I've lost my job, or my kids are not being able to go to school, look for the lesson or the gift in that rather than the victim kind of stance of poor me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when and I know you talk about this, but when I wake up in the morning, before I get out of bed, I make sure that I think about what am I grateful for. And when I had a kitty cat, the first thing I would always say, because she'd be right there purring, is my beautiful Olivia purring. And we don't have to be grateful for really, big things. It can be, for that picture over there that Aunt Madge left me, little things. And I find that is, so for some people, they might say, I don't have time to have a journal, but we can all sit there and just repeat these things in our head. And the more you do it, the faster they come. And the more, just talking about it, the more excited you get.
Yeah. And the thing is, you're absolutely right. You don't need to put them down in a journal. You can if you want, but say them out loud. Even if you're by yourself, say them out loud. Something I'm grateful for is, and do that 5 times. The morning and evening are the most important times, right? When you wake up, it sets the energy for the day. And right before you go to sleep, it creates the conditions for your dreams. And so I know it may sound a little airy-fairy. It's not. It's so simple. And yes, they can be small things. They can be, what happens is when you start focusing on the good, when you start being on the lookout for the good, you create new neural pathways in the brain that allows you to see them more easily. It's actually all in the brain's, we have neuroplasticity in the brain, means the brain can change every day until the day you die. And the average person has 60,000 thoughts a day. And for the average person, 80% of those are negative. It's called the negativity bias. And we inherited this from our caveman ancestors, where we always focused on that negative stuff in order to try to, avoid being killed by that tiger. Well, we don't need to have that deep groove built in our brains for the negative. And what we want to do is we want to start building more of these grooves in pathways in the brain for the positive. And that's what focusing on gratitude does.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it's so simple.
It is so simple.
So, I think most of our listeners know you, but they may not know your story. And we always love for our guests to share their story. So you have this wonderful life, you teach love and gratitude and success, and you've done it for many, many years, but it probably hasn't always been this way. Can you share a little bit about your journey and then how you ended up here? I mean, did you ever imagine?
Katana, honestly, I am the least likely person on the planet to be teaching and speaking about living a miraculous life. I mean, truly, I was born depressed. I came out of the womb with what I call existential angst. And I had a great family. I had great parents and everything was wonderful, but I had this dark cloud that I carried with me. I remember it from the time I was very, very young. And my solution to it at a young age was sugar. I became a sugar addict because I didn't have a lot of sweetness. I didn't feel sweetness inside, so I went for it on the outside. And by the time I was in high school, I was about 30, 35 pounds overweight, and which of course didn't add to my happiness. And so I did something when I was in my early 20s that I think a lot of people do. I set goals for myself, and I figured that once I got those goals, then I would be happy, because all I wanted was to be happy. It's what we all really want, is to be happy. And I set 5 goals for myself, and I'll just share them with you because I think a lot of people can relate to these. I wanted to have a successful career helping people. I wanted to have a wonderful husband or life partner, fabulous friends, a comfortable home, and the equivalent of Halle Berry's body. Now, I got 4 out of the 5. I do not have Halle Berry's body, but I have a healthy body for which I'm very grateful. And I worked really, really hard to get all my ducks in a row so that I would have all those things going for me. And I had a very turning point moment. They all happened except the Halle Berry body. And, they all happened. And I remember it was June of 1998. I had just finished giving a speech to 8,000 people. I had 3 books at the same time on the top 5 on the New York Times list. And I had just finished autographing 5,432 books. I felt like an author rock star, and I should have felt on top of the world. But I went up to my hotel room, which was the penthouse suite that my clients had gotten for me. And I walked over to the window, which was in Chicago, and there was a huge view of Lake Michigan. And I took in that view, and I turned around and I fell onto the bed and I burst into tears. And I burst into tears because I realized I had everything I thought I needed to be happy, and I still wasn't. I still felt that emptiness inside. And I know a lot of people feel that. And so I dove deep into the subject of happiness. I interviewed all these happiness researchers and happy people, and I started doing what they did, and it worked. And I was so excited that it was working that I actually I went from a D+ in happiness to an A in happiness. If you were giving me a grade, I'm still a work in progress. I still always work on it. But I realized that this is something that people can learn. And then I started teaching all about happiness and how to raise your happiness set point. And then about 7 or 8 years ago, I started waking up every morning and realizing, oh my goodness, I feel like I am living this miraculous life. Miracles were happening left and right. You know, I'd wake up and not know what the day would bring, but amazing people would call me out of the blue and invite me to do things or that were phenomenal. Or, you know, I was living the life that I couldn't have imagined. I currently still do. I work with the women Nobel Peace Prize winners to help bring a greater life to women around the world. I mean, things that I could have dreamed of. And so I realized, you know, there's a way, just like there's a way to learn how to be happier, there's actually a way to learn how to live a more miraculous life. And that's why I've been teaching this year of miracles and how to live a miraculous life over the last 7 years. And it just keeps getting better and better.
You know, when the class first started, one of the things you give us is a printout that I put up of the miracle zone, of living in the miracle zone. Oh, I got goosebumps.
Yeah, I call them God bumps. That's
what?
Great. I call them God bumps.
God bumps. Wow, isn't that amazing? I love that. Woo, woo. So tell us, what is the miracle zone? Because, you know, it just sounds so attractive and appealing, doesn't it, to be in a miracle zone? What does it actually mean, though?
Well, here's the deal. Miracles, we all want miracles. You know, different people want miracles in different ways. Some people want a health miracle. Some people want a money miracle. Some people want a career miracle, or you want to manifest your soulmate. All of those are different forms of miracles. And a miracle is simply, according to Webster's dictionary, a surprise and welcome event that can't be explained by science, that's often attributed to divine grace. We can't create miracles. Miracles are come from grace. What we can do is we can create the conditions for miracles to show up in our lives. And that's what living in the miracle zone is. Living in the miracle zone is creating the conditions where we are allowing the miracles to show up, where we're seeing them, where we're noticing them, where we're inviting them in, where we're welcoming them. And what I've found is that when we live in the miracle zone, miracles, big and small, start flowing in. I mean, things like, you know, I needed a piece of information and it just showed up in my inbox, or somebody I was thinking of that I wanted to reconnect with called me, or I got an offer out of the blue for my dream job. We had recently, just in the last week, somebody wrote to us telling us that that their intention for the beginning of the year was to have a child, but they did not think they were going to be able to, and they had a 1% chance of conceiving.
Mm.
And sure enough, in February, they conceived, and just in the last 2 months, they gave birth to this beautiful, healthy baby child. So it's just, you know, it's the things that may defy what we think might be possible, but truly anything is possible.
Well, you and I were both in Barbara Stanny's book, Barbara Houston's book.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It's just slipped my mind. But I remember in there, I shared a story. Everyone shared a little story in there. And I shared the story that happened when I was at American Express Financial Services a long time ago. We went wine tasting, and I bought a case of wine, and it was sitting in our room, and I'm hearing, oh my gosh, we have to go down and get on the bus, you know, and put our luggage, they got to take it. So they had to take this wine, right? And I looked, it wasn't closed. So I was going to have to leave it in the room unless I found tape. So I called down to the front desk. They didn't have it. And I said to my husband, I said, there's no way we're going to be able to go buy tape. I said, I'm going to go downstairs and manifest tape. Packing tape, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He said, I'm going to go watch this. And so he walked out. Remember, they're waiting, right? So I walk out, we get in the elevator, and there's another couple, and they're holding a box. And I said, oh, did you buy wine too? And he said, no, this is our costumes, because they had costume party. And I said, oh, okay, because we're looking for packing tape. They go, really? Here, I've got packing tape. They handed it to us. They got out, and then we went back up, and we both just started screaming, because that was just so, you know, unexpected, right?
And that's it. You're living in the flow. That's what we mean. You're just living in the zone where you happen to need some packing tape, and you walk downstairs and there's somebody with packing tape. And that's
they hand it to you in like 10 seconds, like they were waiting for you.
Yeah, it's when synchronicities happen. And it's actually the state that I believe we're designed to live in. It's not, it's who we become as we manifest the packing tape. It's not for the packing tape itself, it's for how we end up living, how we shift our lives in order to live in that miracle zone, so that those synchronicities happen for us.
So, you know, are there some things that we can do, or are there things that we do that prevent us, or are there things that we can do to make them happen? Because you said we can't make them happen, but maybe are we like keeping them away from us somehow?
Very, very key that most of us, believe it or not, are pushing away our miracles. They are there, and we are not opening to them. And there are a number of mistakes that we make. How about if I just share with you 2 of them?
Okay.
Yeah, so because we're getting close to the beginning of the year, and the beginning of the year, people often set their intentions, their New Year's resolutions and all of that. And do you know that most people set their intentions the wrong way? They set them from what we call the ego rather than from the soul. When we set ego-based intentions, we tend to, they're based in fear, they're based in control, they're based in holding on. And an ego-based intention, we know because it makes us feel a little tight. You know, like, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. That's a famous one. It's actually not a soul-based intention. A soul-based version of the same intention. A soul-based intention is something that you know your greater self, your higher self, your bigger, more awakened self is truly wanting for you. So a soul-based version of that intention would simply be something like, I'm living fit and healthy in a body that reflects on the outside my radiance inside. Now notice the difference between how those 2 feel. One feels contracted, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. It feels like, oh my God, it's an effort. It doesn't feel good. The other is expansive because it's resonating with what we call the soul-based intention. So that is something that we end up doing, is we have people create their soul-based intentions for the year.
Yeah, and I love having people do that. In fact, I have them do them for 3 areas in their life: mind, body, spirit,
Mhm.
then family, friends, and fun, and then career, business, and legacy. And I remember when I tried to figure out where to start, because being a financial planner, of course, you want to start with the money part, but I
Yes,
never did. I always started, like you said, let's start. And it was God, family, work. And it came from the Bible,
yes,
So
yes.
I thought, God, we are a temple. So and if we can do those in a positive way and put them out where we can read them and focus on them, can anyone really do this?
Yes, it's just important that you notice how you feel in your body in the way that you've written the intention, because even the financial intentions, some
Mhm.
are going to make you feel contracted. Contracted is the energy of the ego. It's, I'm trying to prove myself. I'm trying to, it's from fear.
Mhm.
When you write the intention, like even a financial intention, from the level of the soul, it feels expansive. I am open and receiving an income that's income that's double last year, and that rewards me for my contributions. It feels so much more expanded than I'm going to make an X number of dollars a year. It just feels different. So I think that's really important. But the other thing that's super important, and this is where I think most people, especially women, get caught up, and that is in knowing our own worth. We have to know and own our inherent worthiness in order to open up to receive miracles. Miracles, it's not that we're not deserving of them. We're all deserving of them. There's no such thing as a deservability scale in the realm of miracles. But we have to believe and know and feel that we are worthy, that we are enough. Because if we don't feel worthy of receiving our miracles, if you don't feel good enough, you don't love yourself enough, then you're actually energetically pushing them away. And people push away their good all the time in simple ways. And I have 5 questions that I just want to ask everybody right now, if that's okay. And I want to see if you say yes or no to these, because these are some ways that we actually energetically are pushing away our good, simple ways throughout the day. So number 1, do you feel uncomfortable when someone pays you a compliment and you try to deflect that? Simple thing, but part of that has to do with not feeling deserving. Second question, do you have a hard time accepting gifts? You have a hard time receiving and opening up to gifts from people. Because if you have a hard time opening up to gifts from people, you're going to have a hard time opening up to gifts from the universe, those miracles that are out there. Number 3, do you feel guilty when people try to help you out or support you? Or you feel like you have to give back to them twice as much as they gave to you, or you don't even ask people for support? Big one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, when things are really great in your life, do you sometimes downplay it around friends or family because you don't want them to feel bad about what's going on in their life?
Mm-hmm.
And then number 5, do you feel bad if things come too easily to you? You feel like you should have had to work hard or struggle to get what you want. That was a big one for me. I was okay to receive things, but only if after they came after super hard work. If they came too easily, I felt like I was cheating. So if you said yes to any of those or a number of those, then welcome to the club, and know that, you are unconsciously possibly pushing away your good and blocking miracles because of not feeling worthy enough.
But Marci, I just feel that every single woman has these disempowering beliefs,
Yes.
and they come from our childhood, and they're in our body, and they're just there. And so especially around, money, let's say, they just don't want to deal with it. And Harv Eker said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And Kendall
Yes.
Summerhawk, how you do money is how you do everything. And I think it's so true. So what do we do when we have these kind of beliefs that cause this? Because this is very common, right?
Yes.
And this is why they won't ask for more either. We were
Right.
trained that way. You don't ask for enough money for the work we do.
Right. So the very first thing you do is you start noticing.
Mm.
Notice throughout your day, how many times are you pushing away your good? Somebody comes to open a door for you and you say, no, I can do it. Or you really could use some help, but you go, no, I'm not going to call somebody and get help. I'm going to do it myself. You know, how often during the day are you pushing away more ease, more love, more abundance, more help, you know, more support? Notice it. And when you notice it, just in that instance, stop and reverse it. Because believe it or not, when you start letting in the little things, it habituates you to start opening up to letting in the big things. So that is the very first place to start. And ideally get a buddy to do this with. You know, share this with somebody and say, hey, let's kind of be accountability buddies together to see how well we're doing in practicing receiving. This is really a practice of receiving. And we are very often, most women I ask is, how good are you at giving? And they say, I'm great. I'm a great giver, but I don't receive well. And this is opening up to practicing receiving.
Oh, Mike, this is so important. So this leads me to the Year of Miracles, because I really want you to talk about the program. We helped announce your program. You know, you had beautiful free gift you gave us last year, and we had some of our members, and I just talked to one this morning who I knew was in it, and I asked her, and I wanted to tell you what she said. And then I will talk about how people can come join, because you're doing this again this year. And I want them to understand, you know, who you bring in, because, why I think this is so important is because number one, I feel that so many women think we have to do this on alone and figure it out. I know that's me, what it was for me, but we need to find a guide, someone who's where you want to be, and you follow them like a way shower. And that's how I see you and Sue and Lisa. And then the next thing is to, because that can shorten your time. And the other one is to find a community where women love and support you. And it's a tribe, right? And you know you can go there. And the third is just not to give up.
Yes. Well, all of those are so key to, what we've seen, and this is going into our 8th year of your Year of Miracles. And this last year we had 3,000 women from 72 countries around the world. And what happens is, we know from a lot of research, Lynn McTaggart did some research, a lot of great research on the power of the group. It's not just, we don't have to do it alone. What we do in your Year of Miracles is we have the whole group is intentioning for your great intentions for the year. And it's a year-long program. We meet twice a month. You also get messages in your inbox every Monday morning. And it really keeps you on track to living a miraculous life. And each month we focus on a different topic. So one month is self-love, one month is health, one month is money, one month is success, another month on living your purpose, on relationships. So we're really looking at how to live a miraculous life in every area of your life. And we have had, it just blows me away every year. It just keeps getting better and better, the kinds of miracles people are having. Even amidst this COVID time, we've had so many people have financial miracles. Many people say that they feel happier than they've ever felt, more self-love. And it's just, it's the power of the group. It's the power of the actual program. We bring in amazing guest experts as well, like, Michael Beckwith and Lisa Nichols and Marianne Williamson and Martha Beck, and just phenomenal people. So it's really about all of us staying together in community, moving together towards what each of us is meant on this planet to live. I believe we are all meant to live a miraculous life.
And one of the things that we hear from your guests is that they're just like us, and they've gone through struggles. So, you can relate to that when people share. So let me share what my friend said. She said, Marci is a ray of light. She says, no matter what is happening in the world, I'm bathed in light, like having a shower of positive vibration. This is about being in the program, she said. And I go to this positive tribe and all of their speakers. So we have access to these brilliant minds. That's what
Oh,
she, so I'm typing as fast as I could because I knew I was going to be seeing you. And I didn't even
oh,
expect her. She called me out of the clear blue sky.
synchronicity in the miracle zone. That's so great. Thank you for sharing that. And we hear that all the time from people. And that's what makes it such a joy to do, is that it's the time, you know, this is the time for us to be living more miraculous lives, even though you know, it seems like such a hard time. It's the best time to be diving into this. And I love that you've been part of the program. You've been such a wonderful support, and I so love that you've been part of the program all these years.
Well, we're going to support you again this year. And we're
Thank
excited
you.
about that. So for everyone listening, you know, we gave you this really short URL called, it's www.joinsmartwomen.com. Real easy. And when you come there, you'll get on our list. So you get our monthly newsletter. So you'll know who's coming on the show. This month, you submitted a really great article about how to properly do your affirmations.
Great. Great.
And but you also get into the Smart Women's Academy, and that's where we have free courses, including my 6-part coaching program I put in there for free. And all kinds of, you know, we have a meditation course, one on getting out of debt, taking charge of your money, how to turn your passion into profit. And we keep adding new courses. And this in January, and it looks like Marci's going to be joining us along with some other really fabulous women. We're doing our Smart Women Empower Women movement, where our guides are going to be donating free gifts and tools and resources into the library of the Smart Women's Academy. So you'll have access to those too. So that'll be faster than us having to build everything. So we're just really excited about that. So come to joinsmartwomen.com and do it right away. And you will also receive a free gift from Marci this week, at the end of the week. And when you're on our list, you'll get that, and then you'll be invited to join your Year of Miracles. And I hope everybody listening does this. And let's see you get 6,000 people in your
Yeah,
course.
we love that. I accept that. And what's so interesting is here, what you're offering people is such a wonderful, beautiful gift to go to Smart Women. Say it again, it's smartwomen.com.
Joinsmartwomen.com.
Joinsmartwomen.com. So notice, here's an opportunity to receive what we were talking about earlier, somebody offering you something. Notice how you can receive this. And yes, we will also be offering an ebook there called The 4 Biggest Mistakes That Keep People from Living a Miraculous Life. So happy for that.
So several goodies coming then. Good. How exciting. So we'd like to finish our show up with how people can connect with you. And I would really love for you to share your Smart Women tip.
Okay, so they can connect by going to youryearofmiracles.com. Very simple, youryearofmiracles.com. And my Smart Women tip is this. We spoke about feeling worthy. Feeling worthy is based on self-love. So it's such an important thing to learn to love ourselves. My tip is this: twice a day for the next week, stop in the midst of what you're doing and ask this question: what's the most loving thing I could do for myself right now? And it could be something simple, like I could pick up a glass of water and drink it, or I could go out and get some fresh air, or I could call a friend and just get a little support, or I could look for gratitude right now. It doesn't need to take long. It's just a matter of asking, what's the most loving thing I could do for myself right now? And then doing it. And I just want to end with this idea, because people often say, well, is it selfish? This whole idea of self-love and living a miraculous life. What about the world? And my answer is, it's the least selfish thing you can do, because when you are living a better life, you are impacting the planet. And so I leave you with this Chinese proverb. It goes like this. It says, when there is light in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. When there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the house. When there is harmony in the house, there will be order in the nation. And when there is order in the nation, there will be peace in this world. And that is my prayer and my wish for all of us, that we know the light in our own souls, that we're all living in the miracle zone. Mm-hmm. And through that, we help create more peace here on this planet of ours.
Oh, how beautiful. Thank you. Oh my gosh. So it's just so wonderful to have you here. So we want to welcome, invite all of you to come to join.
Great to be with you always.
Thank you. Thank you. So thank you everyone for being here and hearing this inspirational message, especially at the end of the year, a very difficult year, but there are many, many gifts that are going to come out of this. So we thank you, Marci, so much from the bottom of my heart for being here and participating. And we've got a great guest coming up. She's a food coach on the next show in January. So look for that. And until we meet again, go out and live with more purpose, passion, and prosperity.